You're listening to the Bare Metal Cyber Prepcast, created to help you succeed in your Security Plus certification journey. Learn more at baremetalcyber.com, where additional prepcasts, books, and training materials await. Let's get started. Business processes are structured methods that define how change is requested, evaluated, approved, and implemented within an organization. They provide a repeatable framework that ensures consistency and accountability so changes are not left to chance or individual discretion. These processes apply not only to technical modifications but also to governance and compliance, ensuring that every adjustment aligns with organizational goals. In cybersecurity, business processes add discipline to change management by balancing the need for agility with the requirement for safety and stability, giving organizations a reliable way to evolve without creating new vulnerabilities. Approval processes are central to governance in change management. Before any significant modification is made, it must pass through a system of review and authorization. This step ensures that decisions are not made in isolation but with consideration for risk, business impact, and organizational goals. Approvals serve as checkpoints where proposed changes are scrutinized to confirm necessity, safety, and alignment with established policies. They enforce accountability by ensuring that senior leaders or designated approvers are actively involved in evaluating modifications, thereby reducing the risk of unauthorized or hasty actions. Approvals prevent unauthorized or risky actions by ensuring changes cannot move forward without oversight. A firewall adjustment, for example, might improve functionality but could also expose sensitive services if not reviewed. By requiring approval, organizations introduce a layer of protection against both accidental errors and malicious insider activity. This safeguard makes sure that changes are properly vetted, balancing efficiency with security. For learners, this illustrates how formal approval processes act as governance tools, reducing the chance that shortcuts or impulsive decisions compromise the integrity of IT environments. Ownership plays a critical role in assigning responsibility during change management. Every proposed modification should have an identified owner who takes accountability for its planning, testing, and outcomes. Ownership clarifies who is responsible if issues arise and prevents confusion about accountability. It also ensures that changes are championed by someone with the authority and knowledge to oversee them effectively. By clearly assigning ownership, organizations avoid situations where responsibilities are diffused and critical steps are overlooked. For learners, this highlights the importance of defining roles in every structured business process. Stakeholders include all individuals or groups who are affected by a change. This may range from IT teams and security staff to end users, managers, and external partners. Involving stakeholders ensures that decisions account for the broader impact across the organization, rather than focusing narrowly on technical needs. Stakeholder involvement creates a holistic view of risks and benefits, improving the quality of decision-making. By consulting those affected, organizations build support, identify potential challenges early, and avoid misalignments that could disrupt operations after implementation. Impact analysis is the structured evaluation of how a change will affect both systems and business processes before it is implemented. It considers technical aspects such as downtime, compatibility, and security risks, as well as business consequences like user productivity or compliance obligations. By performing impact analysis, organizations reduce the likelihood of unforeseen consequences, ensuring that changes support rather than hinder operations. This step transforms change management from reactive problem-solving into proactive risk reduction. For learners, impact analysis represents the due diligence required before altering critical environments. Test results act as evidence of readiness, demonstrating whether a change has been validated in a controlled environment. By testing patches, upgrades, or configurations beforehand, organizations ensure they function as expected without introducing instability. Test results provide tangible proof for approvers that the change is safe to deploy. Without this evidence, decision-making becomes speculative, increasing the risk of errors in production. For learners, test results highlight the scientific approach of change management. Hypotheses are tested, Results are reviewed, and only then are changes introduced into live environments. Backout plans are essential safety nets in case a change fails or causes unexpected problems. These plans outline the exact steps needed to revert systems to their previous state quickly and safely. Without a backout plan, failed changes can lead to extended downtime or security vulnerabilities that are difficult to undo under pressure. Having predefined rollback procedures ensures that failures remain manageable events rather than catastrophic disruptions. For learners, backout plans underscore the principle of planning for failure, anticipating what could go wrong, and preparing an exit strategy in advance. Maintenance windows are scheduled periods reserved for implementing changes in a controlled way. By scheduling updates during off hours or times of reduced usage, organizations minimize disruption to users and business operations. Maintenance windows communicate when downtime may occur, setting expectations and reducing surprise impacts. They also allow IT teams to focus fully on changes without the pressure of peak workloads. For learners, maintenance windows illustrate how planning not only protects systems, but also maintains trust with users who depend on uninterrupted services. Standard operating procedures, SOPs, provide repeatable guidance for handling changes consistently. SOPs outline the steps to follow, documentation required, testing methods, and approval protocols. By standardizing these processes, organizations ensure that all teams follow the same approach, reducing variability and errors. SOPs serve as training tools for new staff and reference points for experienced teams, creating predictability across the change management lifecycle. They turn complex processes into manageable steps, reinforcing consistency and reliability in every update or modification. Ultimately, business processes serve as frameworks that make change predictable, controlled, and aligned with organizational needs. They combine approvals, ownership, stakeholder input, testing, and documentation into repeatable methods that reduce errors and improve outcomes. Without these frameworks, change management risks becoming chaotic, exposing organizations to both technical instability and compliance failures. For learners, this reinforces the idea that security is not just about technology, but also about disciplined processes that bring order and accountability to complex environments. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Clear ownership strengthens accountability by ensuring that someone is directly responsible for a change from start to finish. When a change has a designated owner, there is no ambiguity about who must oversee testing, documentation, and communication. This accountability discourages careless or rushed actions because individuals know their names are tied to outcomes. Ownership also streamlines coordination since teams know exactly who to contact for updates or clarifications. By making responsibility explicit, organizations avoid confusion and ensure that each change is carried out with professionalism and diligence. Stakeholder communication is equally important because it prevents misalignment and unexpected disruptions. If business units are not informed of downtime, productivity may suffer unnecessarily. If security teams are not aware of a system update, monitoring may miss important changes. Effective communication ensures all affected groups understand the timing, purpose, and impact of a change. This builds trust and reduces resistance, since stakeholders feel included rather than blindsided. Communication transforms change management from a purely technical process into an organizational practice that fosters collaboration and shared responsibility. Impact analysis plays a key role in identifying risks associated with a proposed change. It considers how the change may affect both the technical environment and the business as a whole. For example, introducing a new firewall rule may secure systems but also disrupt application performance. Impact analysis helps weigh these outcomes before approval, preventing unnecessary disruption. By formally assessing risks, organizations make more informed decisions, balancing the need for stronger security with the operational requirements of the business. This structured evaluation reduces surprises and strengthens both efficiency and protection. It is also important to distinguish between technical and business impacts during analysis. Technical impacts include downtime, compatibility issues, or increased load on systems. Business impacts include reduced employee productivity, delayed customer services, or potential compliance challenges. A technically sound change may still create unacceptable business consequences if it interferes with critical operations. Evaluating both perspectives ensures that decisions are well-rounded and aligned with organizational goals. Learners should recognize that cybersecurity and IT do not exist in a vacuum. They must serve the broader needs of the business. Test results must always be reviewed before approval to confirm readiness. Simply performing a test is not enough. Results must be documented, analyzed, and verified by those with authority to approve. This ensures that tests were thorough and that outcomes meet security and stability requirements. Reviewing results prevents untested or inadequately tested changes from slipping through. It also provides evidence for audits, showing that decisions were based on data rather than assumptions. By emphasizing review, organizations enforce discipline and ensure that testing truly validates safety. Backout procedures must also be documented clearly and reviewed before deployment. In the event of a failed change, these instructions guide teams in restoring systems quickly to their prior state. Documentation prevents improvisation under stress, which often leads to mistakes. By planning and practicing backout steps, organizations ensure they are realistic and achievable within the expected timeframe. This discipline makes failures manageable, reinforcing resilience and confidence in the change management process. Backout plans embody the principle of preparing for the worst while striving for the best. Maintenance windows minimize user disruption by scheduling changes during low-demand periods. These windows reduce the likelihood that downtime will impact productivity or customer services. They also give IT teams time to focus on implementation without competing demands. Organizations often standardize maintenance windows weekly or monthly so that users know when to expect possible downtime. By coordinating schedules, communication, and approvals, maintenance windows make change management predictable and respectful of business operations. For learners, this highlights how timing is as important as the technical details of a change. Change advisory boards, CABs, serve as oversight bodies that review and approve significant changes. These boards typically include representatives from IT, security, compliance, and business units, ensuring that decisions consider multiple perspectives. CABs evaluate risks, business impacts, and readiness before authorizing implementation. Their role is to enforce discipline by making sure no major change moves forward without structured review. By involving a cross-functional group, CABs prevent tunnel vision and ensure that technical updates serve the broader mission of the organization. Business processes enforce discipline in IT changes by standardizing how decisions are made and how risks are managed. They prevent shortcuts that undermine security and establish accountability across all levels of the organization. This discipline reduces uncertainty, builds confidence, and ensures changes strengthen rather than weaken defenses. Learners should see business processes as more than bureaucracy. They are structured safeguards that prevent chaos and ensure that every change supports both operational and security objectives. Linking business goals with secure change management ensures that technical updates drive organizational success rather than hinder it. By aligning change with strategic priorities, organizations use technology not just to stay current, but to create value. Secure change management ensures that growth and innovation occur without exposing the organization to unnecessary risk. For learners, this demonstrates that cybersecurity is both a protector and an enabler, supporting progress by ensuring that change is executed safely and responsibly. In summary, structured business processes are safeguards for both efficiency and security. They combine ownership, communication, impact analysis, testing, and oversight into predictable frameworks that reduce errors, maintain compliance, and build trust. Whether through maintenance windows, CABs, or standardized procedures, these processes ensure that change serves the needs of the business without compromising protection. For learners, the key takeaway is that business processes in change management transform technical adjustments into disciplined, goal-aligned improvements that strengthen both operations and security posture. Thanks for tuning in to the Bare Metal Cyber Prepcast, your trusted source for cybersecurity news and insights. Remember to subscribe at baremetalcyber.com so you never miss an update. And visit cyberauthor.me for best-selling cybersecurity books that equip you with expert knowledge. Until next time, stay secure and stay vigilant.